want to start off with the audience Q&A. So these were sent through the Pivotal online tool. So the first question that had the most votes at 21 is, what is an avoidable mistake that you have seen social entrepreneurs make over and over again?
Well, one that just ties to what we've been saying is you are constantly being advised by people who are not entrepreneurs to behave in the old ways. You got to hire this type of person, you need managers, now the entrepreneurs can't run things. And you end up creating an old type of organization and you become a minority. This is very painful. It doesn't lead anywhere. So, again, if you understand new game, new way of organizing, that new way of organizing needs people like you. You need change makers if you're going to have everyone a change maker, a company, citizen group, whatever.
Thank you. Next question.
And just surprise people by a quick answer.
Can we have the next question, please?
Well, while this is going on, let me slip in a little thing here, which I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do, so I know this is illegitimate, but social enterprise, of course, is important. 53%, this is a couple of years old statistics, of what the citizen sector's income base is fee-for-service charging for them. So this is not a new idea, it's a really important element. There is something, the example I've given you about housing for all in India, that's entrepreneuring a whole new class where you've torn down the walls. It's finance, it's business, it's the citizen sector. The citizen side, I didn't explain this well, so the citizen sector does all the retail work in the solution. Marketing, lending judgments, technical assistance, collectors, the builders build, the financiers finance, and everyone wins. Well, that is different from what I'm concerned about in social entrepreneurship. Both of those are positive statements. Every 5, likely 7 or 8 to 10 years, people rediscover the idea, wouldn't it be cool if we made money while doing good? And it says, oh yes, that's very attractive. And suddenly, lots of money comes in. And a lot of people in business say, well, this makes me feel comfortable, it's business, this is not all this fuzzy stuff I don't understand, and because it's like me, it's better. And so you have a certain self-righteousness backed up by money. Well, underlying, and what you're talking about, what most people talk about, is then you have to go out and find deals. Now, this is a direct service model. It's not changing the pattern. So the underlying fact is that the deal flow of places where you can make money and do good is increasing. It is real, but it doesn't suddenly go up by 5-fold or 10-fold when this new enthusiasm comes. And so, and we're right now in the middle of the enthusiasm. And so these people have a lot of leverage and they've taken money from elsewhere, so it's now in this new category that twist the arms of people who are not really social businesses. And say, look like a social business, behave like one so we can invest it. Well, this is not helpful. And of course, the returns go down and then people slink away, they're embarrassed, and 5 years later, the same thing happens again with a new name. So, a lot of this is really valuable and good, but this wave effect is not helpful.
Thank you. This is a good transition into the next question, which is, what's the difference between a company that has a corporate responsibility initiative, CSR, and a company that has a social business model infrastructure? Are they both social enterprises?
The problem with both categories is they're just too broad. Companies that decide that they're going to make a social investment can do it in a very intelligent way. So, for example, we have been building a relationship for the last 3.5 years with Boehringer Ingelheim, which is a German family-owned, private, highly held, in other words, pharmaceutical firm. And they have 128 years of classically German. We do research. There's a very good value system there. They know that the world is changing, and so they came to us, and we've been learning how to do a partnership together. So they are supporting the launch of a good many Health for All Ashoka Fellows and youth ventures, like this young woman. Well, they're benefiting because they're getting access to all that body of knowledge. A growing and significant number of their most promising managers go on executive in residence with a health fellow, and they're being exposed to a heavy dose of entrepreneurship. They're learning about parts of the world and markets and entrepreneurship they never get, and they bring that back to the company. And we're doing more and more. Now those are just some examples. Of course this is strategic for the company. It's strategic for us. This is, I guess you could call it, philanthropic investment by the company. It'll have a profound impact. It'll help them make the transition from one type of organization to the other. So I think that's really valuable. Now, of course, we all know lots of examples where CSR is some person who's been sidelined by the company, and really the decisions are made by the president who gives money to Harvard Business School, or he might rather, which is good. But, well, that's good. So I'm very cautious about these categories. We just talked about social enterprise, so.
Okay, thank you. And this question by Angie is one that appears very often. How can a company adopt and support empathy-based ethics and show its value to stakeholders and investors?
Well, this is great. Let me give you this is a real example that I am going to disguise a bit because I'm told I have to. There is the owner of an extremely large hotel chain with vast numbers of people, totally organized in the old way. So as Henry Ford applied to hotels. The chambermaid is not supposed to talk to people who put soap here. No, it's just like being on an assembly line. Maybe 5, maybe 12 people out of 100,000 have a mandate to think, and as far as I can see, they mainly do real estate deals. I'm being slightly unkind, but not much. There's another company in the same industry that's much smaller. There, the CEO not only, this guy understands it, but he just doesn't have, so far he hasn't taken any action. This other company, which is about 1 or 2% the size, is on this. And here is what they're doing. The owner wants to, the CEO wants to be an everyone a change maker company. His goal is to get 70 or 80% of his people to be change makers quickly. So now, if he has 800 change makers, and the giant over here has 5 to 12, and the game is change, who are you going to bet on? Right, so here is what this company is doing. I haven't done this yet, but I hope we'll do it soon. And this is empathy related very directly. They are going in the places where they have hotels to start by hosting a meeting with the decision makers in schools, education, religious houses that have youth programs, whoever they think are the right people, and say, world of change, kids have to have this set of skills. If they don't, that's it for them. And our company really wants to help this community make that transition. And we can bring you the Ashoka community, we can bring you the Ashoka fellows who work in this area. And and we're going to encourage all our employees to work with you on this. So then, imagine you had 6 months. Guests come to the hotel, and there's a package in their room along with the Bible or whatever else they're handing out. And it says, this is really important for your kids. You may want it for your home community. Take it away if you want. And if you want to learn more, here's what's going on in this community, and here are visiting opportunities, and here's a list of people in the hotel who are actually working with this school or that church or whatever. And here's what they're doing, and here's their numbers. Call them and talk to them. Well, this is not costing the company a lot. It's the worst. I mean, it's really good marketing, but they are helping their employees understand that the game has changed and this is what's valued. Now, in addition to that, they're asking their employees, they're saying, what the most valuable thing you can do is spot an opportunity where we as a company can provide more value. Now, this is something that I took to them. We went to Condé Nast. Condé Nast Traveler, they care about the travel industry and all those ads, they have conferences, etc. So they have really good statistics about travel. And one of the statistics I totally loved was that 54% of U.S. travelers would consider their prime vacation to be for social service and learning, and 24% would like that. Oh. Now, if you have 800 people in your company and you're looking for new ways, just think what you could do with that. And then, of course, you have to constantly evolve it and apply it. Well, this would work for the kids, and so on. So I am just giving you a concrete example. In the empathy context, this company is doing something fundamentally important for the communities where it's in, fundamentally important for the country. At the same time, they're transforming their employees into change makers, their culture into a change-making culture. Now, which company do you think a change maker is going to choose to go and work in? It's obvious. So a virtuous cycle is being set up over here, and this is not good for over here. You start doing these things, and guess what? People are going to want to go to this hotel, and their occupancy rate's going to go up, and their return on investment's going to go up, and they're going to start growing. And at some point, this suddenly becomes a real threat to the old dynasty. That is going to happen in every industry.
Well, thank you so much. Unfortunately, it seems that we've run out of time, but I'd like to thank you so much for your talk and answering our questions.